Welcome to the Weekly Grab. I'm Joel. That's CJ over there on that side. We missed Thursday's episode, but we're here with the Weekend Grind edition, making sure that you are all caught up on everything local, national, and even more in between. This is your Weekend Grind episode of the Weekly Grab.
The Weekend Grind. How are you doing, Joel?
Doing good, man. How are you? Feeling like the Weekend Grind is on officially.
The Weekend Grind is officially on. We missed the show Thursday. We're back to talk with folks after they're leaving church Sunday. What do we got on the docket today, Joel? What's going on in the
I think the biggest story this weekend comes from the NCAA. You probably heard the name Leah Thomas over the weekend. She won the big NCAA swimming contest. First topic here: feminists protesting Leah Thomas say they are politically homeless. Democrats don't care about women. CJ, what is your thoughts on this first story?
Yeah, so there's a lot of feminists, a lot of Democrats who are saying that they're politically homeless after Leah Thomas won a national championship swimming race. A quote from one woman from this article says, "I was historically liberal. I would say I'm politically homeless now because I don't think the Democrats care about women in sports," one activist told Fox News. So this is definitely an interesting issue, when it comes to feminism, because there's a lot of folks who feel that women's sports are being intruded on by folks who are biologically male. So South Carolina's trying to do something about this, and we're going to get to that. But we asked you guys, one thing that we like to do with our podcast is start the conversation and hear from you guys and where you stand on these issues. And we ran a poll this week in our Facebook group of about 2,400 folks and just asked a simple question. Do you believe biological boys should be able to play in girls' sports in South Carolina? And no one was bold enough to answer yes. Over 233 people as of this morning answered no. So we've been kind of following this a little bit closer. And of course, in South Carolina, there's what's called the Save Women's Sports Act that is being considered. And so Save Women's Sports Act would essentially protect women's sports from biological males competing. And so this new version of the bill actually includes collegiate sports, which is great. Yeah. It stalled out in the State House last session. It was killed in the South Carolina House Judiciary Committee, but this year has a better chance of getting passed. It's going through the Education Committee. So we've spoken with some folks on the Education Committee, including the primary bill sponsor, and we're hoping this Thursday to have, I didn't even tell Joel this yet, but we're hoping this Thursday to have the primary bill sponsor of the Save Women's Sports Act on the show live with us to chat with her. If our schedules don't align, we've already had a couple people close to her working to make that happen. But if our schedules don't align to have Ashley on, then we'll have some Education Committee members to talk about the Save Women's Sports Act. But essentially, this is the answer. The problem isn't the female to male; it's the male to female folks who are going in and dominating women's sports. And this shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening. I think this makes sense. So
it's a slap in the face to anyone that spent any time trying to fight for women's rights in our country's past, for sure.
That's a great point. Amen to that. So that's something really interesting to chat about. We're hoping to have more details of that to come for you. But I want to move this segment we normally do towards the end. I want to move this segment up. So each week we do a segment called the Low Country Cage Match. And we chat about the latest going on between Congresswoman Nancy Mace and her newest challenger that's endorsed by Donald Trump, Katie Arrington. So this is probably one of the most watched Republican primaries. The Republican primaries coming up on June 14th. And we like to cover what's been going on. It's like a boxing match. There's two very aggressive women. They both have a lot of good strengths and some glaring weaknesses. But here's what we saw this week. So we saw Trump's rally last weekend. And here's a clip I'd like to play from Trump's rally, Joel, and you let me know your thoughts. Here was Katie.
I think I know which one.
to see me. How are you all doing today? Who is excited to see Donald J. Trump? I am. I've been waiting a couple of weeks to see Big Daddy come home, and I cannot wait. So I have a speech, but
I've been waiting a couple of weeks to see Big Daddy
come home.
Oh my gosh! So the
come
news
home. He's not even from South Carolina. He's from New York.
Yeah, that's
talking about.
Point.
Come home.
Still funny. And so the news this week, Trump puts out a quote. Let me pull my banner down about Nancy Mace, calling her nasty. I guess he's upset. He says Fox News is putting on the terrible Nancy Mace of South Carolina at every opportunity they get. Fox board member, too bad. Paul Ryan is pushing her so hard, it's ridiculous. This sounds like a Trump tweet. She's nasty, disloyal, and bad for the Republican Party. Her opponent, Katie Arrington, is wonderful and will do much better for both South Carolina and the Republican Party. Katie Arrington has my complete and total endorsement. So that was this week. And then Nancy Mace responds with the meme of her own. She posts on her Instagram, should our nation's secrets be trusted to someone the military caught leaking top secret classified information, asking for a friend? And she makes this meme.
I do want to ask for something, clarification on something, CJ. Which one of these candidates was the one that voted for that huge tax hike last time they had control?
That's a good point. That was Katie Arrington, who voted for the largest tax increase in state history. So that's a good point. So we're going to keep following on the Low Country Cage Match segment, the latest going on between Katie Arrington and Nancy Mace. We think it's hilarious. I feel like no one's really following it that much. And
we are closely.
Yeah, we're going to follow it for you guys. And I think it's, it's an interesting topic. So let me know what you guys think. Who are you supporting? You supporting Katie? You supporting Nancy? Let us know in the comments.
Yep. Let us know.
What's
so
next,
I think we should cover, while we're on the topic of South Carolina in general, we should talk about the new firing squad that South Carolina can now actually, and I think they approved it last year, but now they can actually carry it out and use it as an option. What do you think about that, CJ?
Well, it was passed by a lot of folks who call themselves pro-life. So now the Department of Corrections said Friday it can now carry out executions by firing squad in the state should death row inmates choose the method. Our own Attorney General Alan Wilson, who's going to be in Somerville this week, he said that it completed renovations on the death chamber at the Broad River Correctional Institution and had established protocols making it able to conduct such executions. Currently, there are no scheduled executions in South Carolina. Executions had been paused until the state was able to accommodate the firing squad option. Last year, Henry McMaster signed a bill into law that made the electric chair the state's primary means of execution, but allowed inmates the option to instead choose firing squad or lethal injection if available. So it's very interesting. A lot of Republicans have spoken up against this, like our very own Gil Gatch of Somerville.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of crazy. I'm not really for the death penalty. I'm pro-life.
Yeah.
I'm against abortion, but I know a lot of people are, and so this is for the worst of the worst criminals. But yeah, we are definitely going back in time to carry out in a very barbaric way. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that firing squad executions and death chambers are a good way of handling this? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you have a different perspective on it that we'd like to hear.
Yeah, maybe. But let's take a little gear away from all this. There's some big story that I want to talk about for all of our sports fans. I'm a huge sports guy. So there was a big trade that happened in the NFL, followed by even more news. But DeShaun Watson was traded finally from the Texans. He agreed to waive his no trade clause to go to the Cleveland Browns, which honestly surprised me. I was thinking he might have gone to his hometown of Atlanta and played for the Falcons, but he decided to go here for Cleveland. You can see the trade details there, but immediately after that, he signed a huge, massive extension on his contract to the Browns. I think it was a total of $230 million guaranteed, which is just completely wild, insane.
So what do you think about the allegations against DeShaun Watson? He's a Clemson star, so he's definitely someone that a lot of South Carolinians still follow.
I think the timing of a lot of that was very sus because it was right after he had said, I am never playing in a Texans jersey again. and all of the controversy that he had with not controversy, the tension and beef between him and the Texans organization. But all I know is the grand jury, I think it was a grand jury, did vote to say he was not guilty on those allegations, but the civil suits still stand. But I mean, I don't know, but
yeah, even the civil suits they found that DeShaun Watson wasn't guilty of anything. So yeah, over 20 allegations, none of them stuck after almost 2 years of investigating on this. So yeah, let the guy play.
Yeah, and I think from one of the videos I watched, it said grand juries never do non-guilty. So, or that's
if you're going to the grand jury, there's a good chance that they have enough info to bring charges. So
yeah,
that wasn't the case. But yeah, let's talk about some other crazy stuff, man. There's some stuff going on here in Charleston that's been kind of driving me nuts. So if you remember in 2020, Joel, Charleston County voted out their Republican sheriff and voted in this Democrat sheriff who wanted to defund the police and all this stuff. Well, she's been spending your money in a really weird way. The latest thing that she's been spending your money on is a podcast for the Charleston County Sheriff's Office. Now, a couple of these sheriff's offices have started their own podcasts, and we're not against that, but they've literally spent over $8,000. Excuse me. Let me get the exact number here. Yeah, $8,498 on a podcast that they've only done one episode on.
What?
So this is Charleston County Sheriff's Office. They started it like last fall, and they spent over $8,000 starting this podcast. Now Somerville it looks like Somerville PD also has a podcast. And when the news organization reached out to them, they said that they had only spent $129 on a microphone to produce it, and that's it. Or was that Mount Pleasant? I believe that was Mount Pleasant. So Somerville's, they had only spent $628 on the equipment needed to launch the podcast. But Charleston, I don't know what is going on with this lady. She spent $8,000 of your money so that she can produce a podcast for Charleston Sheriff's Office. I think that's just nuts. I think that's crazy.
It's like quadruple our budget, and we're more premier podcast.
Let's see. We got a Facebook user who didn't put their name in, but that's okay. We'll put your comment up. This looks like it was from the Low Country Cage Match segment. They say, up in the air, I support the primary winner. I like Katie. I don't like the death penalty by firing squad, but injection brought up BS for the crazies. So you get what you bargained for, and bullets have bacteria and is cruel. Thanks for weighing in there. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's keep it moving, Joel. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
What do you want to bring up the next one?
Okay, yeah, I'll bring up this one right here. There was in North Carolina, somebody was able to steal pretty much almost 400 gallons of gas from North Carolina gas station. Let me pull up the article here so I can read it myself. But it said the first car that pulled up appeared to use a device or some sort of bypass system to bypass the payment system. Then like 15 to 20 more cars arrived and stole approximately, actually here it says $1,600 worth of gasoline. So it's pretty wild.
I think there's a lot of people watching right now that wondered how they did that.
Yeah,
they're going
to be trying to replicate it.
They want to steal some gas here too, and honestly, I don't blame them. Gas prices are getting crazy. Looks like the state house Republicans aren't going to be repealing the gas tax anytime soon. So hopefully they do. Here's some positive news. So I'm surprised we didn't cover this yet, but the new Ashley River Park. List. Oh, right on. So the new Ashley River Park has just opened up this weekend in Somerville. I went there for a little bit yesterday just to check it out, but today we're going back to spend a little bit more time. But yeah, it's an 85-acre riverfront park. It's got something for all people of all ages, trails, a big fishing pond that they just stocked with fish, a beautiful boardwalk that goes across it. Also, there's a few pavilions, some picnic shelters, 2 different playgrounds, one for small kids, one for big kids, 2 different dog parks, one for small dogs, one for large dogs, a big splash pad park for toddlers. Also a ropes course, the rock climbing wall, which is not there yet, but it will be. a big festival lawn where they'll have a lot of concerts and weddings, also a kayak launch. But yeah, this project came after a 2019 voter referendum when voters approved $68 million in new parks and library projects for Dorchester County, funded through new bonds and property tax increases. Jay Byers and David Chinnis, we've got a couple quotes from them in our article here on somervillenews.net. So if you want to read more about it, check out the map, check out a couple of videos and some beautiful pictures of the park. Check out our story on somervillenews.net. Park is beautiful. Definitely go out there today. I'm going to be there later today. So if you're out there, I might see you, but it is absolutely beautiful. Super thankful to have that park here in Dorchester County, man. I'm going to be taking my kids there a lot.
I haven't gone yet, but it's on my list. It's on my list. But what do you want to cover next? I know we got a couple stories left here.
Let's talk about what Somerville Police has been up to. So Somerville Police has been chasing the most important criminals in our society, and looks like this week they arrested 2 people after police confiscated more than 3,000 grams or 7 pounds of marijuana and over $23,000 in cash. So they confiscated the cash from these people. That's crazy. But long story short, an officer found someone who, while they were on foot patrol at this local hotel on Holiday Drive, when they smelled marijuana in the air, they traced the smell to a parked vehicle, and the officer came up, and the driver was extremely nervous. Said he was at the hotel to pick up a friend, and later admitted that there was a substance in the vehicle. So the officer said they found a scale and some green plant-like material and several plastic baggies in the car. I'm going to come out and say it. I don't think these are the real criminals of society. I think there's a horrible opioid and fentanyl crisis that Berkeley County seems to be doing a good job of trying to focus on. So I'm always bummed to see stories like this. 37 states recognize cannabis as medicine, and we're still throwing people behind bars for it. So hopefully it works out for that person right there. Yeah, man, you want to hit the next one?
Did you want to cover the Elon story, or do you want to leave that one for? Yeah. So apparently, this one came from the Daily Mail, but Elon's been all the work he's done with his satellites. Elon Musk has helped Zelensky dominate the skies. Says U.S. billionaire Elon Musk's new technology helps to keep Ukraine drones connected with their bases. So far, he's done a lot to help with the Starlink and all that. But what do you think, CJ? What do you think about that?
Yeah, we covered the Starlink connection where they are offering Wi-Fi to folks in Ukraine. That's amazing. Now it comes out that Elon's helping the Ukrainian military's drones in their drone strikes. So basically, the Ukrainian drones are able to locate the tanks a lot better with the help of Elon Musk's satellites. That's amazing. That's private industry helping a good cause. Usually, private industry does a better job than government. In this case, this is a perfect example. But I think we should tell the folks real quick, Joel, while we just got off the subject of the drug bust in Somerville, we need to tell folks how they can legally get what they need at nugofknowledge.com. So nugofknowledge.com helps sponsor this show, and they sell premium cannabis. You can find the best 100% natural CBD, CBG, and Delta 8 THC over at nugofknowledge.com. They've got flower, vapes, and edibles with even more strains and flavors on the way. This is a great way to get your cannabis 100% legally and not get arrested like in that last story. And you can also, when you're getting your cannabis 100% legally there, you're also supporting the show and you're supporting the Liberty Movement at the same time. Go to nugofknowledge.com and use promo code Somerville to get 10% off today's purchase. You're welcome for that. Expand your mind and live your best life with Nug of Knowledge Premium Cannabis at nugofknowledge.com, promo code Somerville. So you're supporting the show, you're supporting the Liberty Movement. They've got a compassionate use program where they help veterans get their products at a discount. And also each purchase helps end the war on drugs, so we don't see people like in the last story getting arrested for what's considered medicine. So check it out, nugofknowledge.com, promo code Somerville. That helps the show get credit, and it also gives you a 10% discount.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's good.
What do we got next? What do we got? Yes, sir. What do we got next?
Well, I know you're a huge Kanye fan, so I want to bring this one up here. See what you think. Kanye West was barred from performing at the Grammys due to, quote, concerning online behavior, Rep confirms. CJ, what's going on here, man?
Yeah, so Kanye West was nominated not just for Best Rap Album of the Year, but actual Best Album of the Year at this coming Grammys here in a couple weeks coming up. And so one of the hosts, Trevor Noah, he's the main kind of host of the evening, I guess. So basically Kanye, made a joke about him on Instagram, and Trevor Noah went on this whole tirade comparing him to the man who shot his mother and saying this kind of behavior is synonymous with what I saw with the man who shot my mom. And so he was essentially without any evidence comparing Kanye to somebody who's a murderer. I think that's a little bit intellectually dishonest. And now, as a result, they're pulling Kanye. Ever since Kanye's kind of come out as more right wing, the liberal media has really not given him a fair shake and not heard out his ideas. So I definitely think that's ridiculous that they're pulling him from the Grammys. Donda was one of the best albums to come out in 2022. That's what everyone wants to hear. That's what everyone wants to hear. And Trevor Noah has always been this guy from Australia who comes over. You guys know who Trevor Noah is, right? I'm sure you do.
Was it he took over for Jon Stewart after he retired?
Right, and Jon Stewart was hilarious because he made fun of both sides.
Yeah.
Right, and all Trevor Noah, it seems like his whole purpose is to just attack right-wing figures and lecture Americans how we should live when he's from Australia, which has never made sense to me.
Yeah, and Kanye's he's getting the short end of his stick at a lot of things, especially from the left side, but also with the stuff with Kim and things he's trying to do to stay a part of his kid's life. They're crapping on him for trying to be a good dad. I'm like, okay, he doesn't want his 8-year-old daughter on TikTok. What's wrong with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He doesn't want her subjected to the Kardashian lifestyle the way that all the past ones have been.
Good point. Yeah, I wouldn't want my 8-year-old daughter on TikTok. And the terms on TikTok say 12 or 13 and under are not allowed, I believe. It's either 12 or 13 and under. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know if I'll be watching the Grammys this year, but definitely know, Kanye was one of the most anticipated performers there. So that's a bummer.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, one of the other things. So I'm going to be headed out to the Ashley River Park today to check it out. But also there's a new farm that opened up in Somerville. It's actually right off the Burlingame Mine, and you can go strawberry picking. So that's actually something really cool that you could do this weekend. So if you live in Somerville, you know that the area has had a lot of growth, but in the middle of all the growth, there's a new way to get fresh fruit. So on Friday, the brand new Westbury Farm strawberry field opened for the first time. It's a nearly 2-acre farm located at Mary Mead's Market property right behind the Home Depot off Burlingame Myers. The farm's a historic site for the town. It's one of the longest standing farms that used to stretch over 20 acres all the way to the interstate. But yeah, check it out. Westbury Farms, a new strawberry pit. You can go pick strawberries.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I go running by there almost every day. So I've been waiting for them to open up.
Yeah, that's cool. I was back in my hometown, upstate New York. They had a strawberry farm not far from where I live. That's fun. Pick a strawberry spread. It tastes good too. It's a lot different. I like it. That's awesome. I'll have to go do that.
Right on, man. Well, hey, if you guys are looking for something fun to do, that's something fun to do. The Ashley River Park, go check that out this weekend. But we're ready to wrap up the Weekend Grind edition. Let us know what you think. Did you love the show? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? And also leave us a comment. Let us know in our Facebook group, and I'll put the link to that below, what your thoughts are on some of these topics that we talked about. We talked about the Save Women's Sports Act. We talked about local cannabis laws. We talked about a lot of different things today. The Low Country Cage match between Nancy Mace and Katie Arrington. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about that park too. It's going to be pretty beautiful out there. But yeah, we will be back this Thursday live
at 7. I don't know what happened to CJ there, but we'll be back live at 7 on Thursday, and it's going to be a great time. So you better come out and join us Thursday, 7, right here. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. maybe we'll be on Live 5 if they put us on. I don't know. Maybe they'll play it for us.
maybe. But thanks for joining, guys. Make sure to join that Facebook group below that you can see down there where we're having conversations. It's probably the main chamber in Somerville where folks are having conversations about things happening locally, current events that are happening coming up. And then we have some conversations about what's going on nationally too. So it's a great place to have a conversation. Democrats, Republicans, everyone's welcome there. But yeah, man, you can also leave us a message on our Anchor account. If you just go to Anchor, if you just Google Anchor, the Weekly Grab podcast, you can leave us a message. You can tell us how much you love us or how much you hate us. That's cool too. We love our haters too.
Yeah,
they watch every episode, so we gotta love them, right?
Yeah. You wanna play us out with that Big Daddy Trump video again?
Is real. I want you to see me. How are you all doing today? Who is excited to see Donald J. Trump? I am. I've been waiting a couple of weeks to see Big Daddy come home, and I cannot wait. So I have a speech, but the bottom line is I can't read it because it's going to blow away, so we're going to wing it.
God bless you. Have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you Thursday live at 7 o'clock.